With what you just explained, it doesn't show like you're anti-government. You're actually saying you want things to work. Why is that a problem? Why won't they just come to you?
There's a difference between wanting things to work and being anti-government. The truth is that people in government don't want things to work. So when you force them or ask them to make things work, you become anti-government because governance has been personalized within Nigerian space. So
I believe that you're one of the citizens that they must protect always and they must listen to. You have that followership. Don't they think they should come to a middle ground and say, look, please, if there's something you have that can help us make this thing work, let us mirror and put you through all of this.
There's no middle ground between darkness and light. None.
And you have a lot of followership, like I said, with the youths. Don't they think it is a risk putting you, who is an influencer, under this kind of harsh treatment?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the nature and character of oppression. For people who are in position of authority, who are oppressive and tyrannical by nature, to think that their actions don't have consequences until the consequences actually arrive when it will be too late.
We would love your home truth. Is this a personal vendetta towards you on your freedom fighting spirit?
It's natural that when you fight for freedom, those whose job, whose career are based on truncating and violating human rights will have personal issues with you. So I'm not different. I'm not different from those who have come before me, the Martin Luther Kings of this world, the Mandelas of this world, the Malcolm X of this world, the Obafemi Awolowos of this world, the Gani Fawemis of this world, the Femi Falanas of this world, those who were persecuted for standing against military rule and misgovernance in this country. And I've been through this before. I was expelled twice in the university for standing up for democracy and human rights, for fighting against increment in school fees, for fighting against even cultism, which was in the interest of the Nigerian state. But because it was something that came from somebody who was also fighting the excesses of people in government, it's natural. You know that I also spent some 5 months in detention last year. That's actually the year before last, which is 2019. So, and I've been restricted to Abuja for more than a year now.
I believe that with what is happening now and your person, I don't think they should see you as someone who is anti-progress. I think they should probably listen to you and hear from you. I still insist that because
we don't need them to listen to us. We need them to respect the rights of the citizens, to respect boundaries that are created, even when it's not by law, by nature. And that is that when you find yourself in any society governed by a group of people, whether by force or by law, or even by election or selection, they have to respect boundaries. We don't owe them any appeal as to how we want to be treated. We don't beg for rights. You demand for it. And that's where I stand. Maybe the kind of people you are referring to are people who told the middle ground of let's go and beg them, let's appeal to them, let's meet in the middle. There's no meeting in the middle when you're talking about human rights, about employment, about things citizens deserve. There's no meeting in the middle when you're discussing issues of corruption that rob people of hospitals, of general comfort. There's no meeting in the middle ground when you're talking about rigging of elections. Or when you are talking about an economic policy that is only meant for the few where the majority live in penury. There's no meeting. The only middle ground on that is for those who are responsible for these atrocities to either shape up or ship out.
The thing is, your family, your business, everything is suffering because of this. You know this is a great cause. Are you willing to go the whole hog? Because you've been doing this for a long time now.
Well, if you had followed me for the last 30 years, you know that I don't know how to go halfway. When I was a student activist, we went the full hog until Nigeria attained democracy in 1999. When I started media, I went for the most extreme type of media, which is holding people not only to account, but ensuring that even after they've been held to account, they are held to standards are acceptable to the citizenry and the globe. So there's nothing new about what I'm doing. As per the business and family, they also have become part of this reality of my life. So, and like I said, what is business? What is family? The families of people in Zamfara who get killed every day, are they more important or less important than my family? The businesses of the farmers in Kaduna and Katsina who can't even go to farm without paying ransom to bandits. They are business people too. They want to eke out a living. So all of us are trapped in this situation, and we should not prioritize our own personal benefit over the general good.
A lot of people would have fooled, but I'm quite surprised that every time I look at you, you're always inspiring. You smile, and where do you pick this courage from?
It's not. I don't think it's an issue of courage. It's an issue of conviction, and when you have conviction, you just have to be yourself, regardless of the situation you find yourself. So, courage might make it sound as if I am making it feel like I'm the most important person who know how to do this. There are a lot of people who feel the same way I feel.
Like I said, it's not you're not being personal with them. You're just saying this is what I want the future for my children and grandchildren. I don't think they should put you through all of this. I understand. I don't think they should put you through this. Why won't they ask simply, what is it we can do to make this work together?
Look, I love the way you're asking the question, but the truth is that, let's be honest. We're talking about people who have run out of ideas, who are incapable of doing anything better than what they're doing now. If you give them another 50 years, they can't give you anything else. This is the best they can offer. So even if you hold a meeting with them today, they can't give you peace, they can't give you security, they can't give you an economy that will make you feel okay. They can't give you schools where people can learn. They can't give you hospitals that have drugs. They can't give you employment. They have nothing to offer. That's why they are always very anxious and very paranoid when we challenge them. Even when you challenge them about the littlest of things, something as simple as like let people assemble and complain, they get afraid. They get upset because they live in a perpetual state of insecurity themselves, both personal and psychological insecurity, because they are limited in terms of ideas to solve the problems we need. But it's now behooves on the citizens to take it to the next level, to say, look, if you cannot fulfill your obligations as a government, just get out of the way. That's something that we are entitled to ask for. It's the biggest democracy of all.
What you just simply ask is protest. Protest is not something anti-government. It's a right for you to ask for what you're not given and what you demand.
That's for you, but government doesn't think that way. Even when you don't protest, they'll come after you. Like we just came from a police station known as Abattoir. It's a SARS. It's a SARS detention center. They pick and kill people there. While we were there, we discovered that SARS had not been eradicated. They are still there. They came and attacked us in the night. SARS officers, they're still wearing SARS, mufti. They still do what SARS. They still go and pick up people on the outside and bring them in. People have been there for 11 months. They've not been charged to court. You have people who stole battery. They are in there for 2 weeks. Accused. I don't even say who stole, because most of those allegations are false. They keep them for weeks without even charging them to court. You understand? So the moment you see these atrocities that these guys commit on a regular basis, then you understand why people like us can't stop fighting.
Wow. But if you, that is a person of interest, is being attacked inside the government establishment, then who is safe?
That's exactly the point. That is why we can't afford to give up. If somebody told me that in 2021 my nose will be broken by policemen simply because even engaging in what my rights are, which is protest or assembly of any kind, I would not believe it, because this was the same way I was attacked in 1992 when I was a student, like 1993. 1994, 1998, 1990. I've been through this before. And I thought that the kind of democracy that was brought about in 1999 would change all of that. The same way democracy changed the behavior of the South African government. The same way protests changed even the conduct of the US government through the Black Lives Matter and several other places. But when you look deeper into it, these guys are digging in further. They're digging in their heel on our necks. They have not changed and they don't plan to change. And that is why citizens must understand that we have to do more than this regular complaining we do on social media. It doesn't reach them. They are immune to a lot of things that we are accustomed to. They have become immune to them. And one of it is social media noise. Even though it makes them sit up once in a while, it doesn't really change anything fundamental. Except you change the system. You can't change system without changing some of the operators.
I think there's a misunderstanding of your intent, which is actually what you're suffering. I would use this medium to say, please, we want you to speak outside, not behind bars. We want you to speak outside the bars, and that would be the best for everyone.
No, it's not my choice. Yeah, it's not my choice. My choice, the only choice I have is to keep speaking. That's the one I can control. As to where I can speak, those ones are bound by situational variables. So if it's behind bars, I'll keep speaking. If it's outside, I'll keep speaking. I'm behind bars. I'm awaiting transfer to a prison.
Wow. So are they giving you certain demands for you to stop talking?
No, we just finished the case. The judge said I should go to prison until we apply for bail tomorrow. And I guarantee that by the time we come back tomorrow, they will have plotted other things to ensure that they keep me perpetually behind bars. But that's not a problem. What will be a problem is when you stop hearing from me. Or if I give up without achieving those things that we have set out to achieve. And one of it is total liberation for people in this country, so that this kind of rubbish don't happen anymore, that people protest or they complain, they clamp them into jail. The kind of mentality that makes people in government, whether in police, army, DSS, or the presidency, to think that the only way to solve this kind of problem is to clamp people into jail has to be totally eradicated.
Wow, but with what you just explained, now I reiterate again, it doesn't seem like you're calling for anarchy, but the stories are out there being you're trying to topple this, you're trying to topple
we are in a state of anarchy, Governance in this country is anarchy. So anybody calling for a change of government or change of attitude is the one that is seen as being an anarchist. Whereas the real people are the government. The person who picks on a citizen and breaks their nose because they are protesting is an anarchist. It's a lawless character because they can't even defend it. If you were in court today, they were denying it, that they never touched us. It's not true that anything happened. So there's people in government that are anarchists in Nigeria. But the issue is not to even over-label what I am. I think history will decide for the future of who am I, or who I should be, or how I should be addressed. Don't worry about how I'm labeled. They will keep since I was in the university, they labeled me all kinds of things as it suits their temperament. So, and within a short period of my lifespan, I've been through 7 presidents in this country. 7. Some of them military, some of them civilian. They all have the same characteristics. All of them.
Wow, we would love you to have these intellectual conversations outside the prison, like I said, and I believe millions of people would love to engage you in a more conducive place. With these bruises you have, are they still denying some of the things they've done to you?
It doesn't. These are part of what counts to the territory of the struggle that we engage in. Suffer bruises, a lot of inconveniences. People die just so that their countries can enjoy freedom. So don't worry about the bruises. Just worry about the future.
You must be worried because you're one of us. You're our brother. We will not want you to be there unjustly. We don't want to be behind bars.
Well, I'm not the only person who is behind bars. Nigeria itself is an open prison. In some measure, you are behind bars too, because you also can practice your trade the way you want. You understand? I am sure if I ask you, if I turn this thing around and ask you the same questions, your answers are likely to be journalists. Don't say this, don't say that, And so, in that regard, but also, you have to think about media not from one perspective. There's also social media, which is doing a great job of exposing the ills of society, and they are also, in return, forcing the mainstream media to do some genuine reporting. So we can't just throw the media out of the window. But I wish the media as a whole, as one body, is doing enough to challenge tyranny, especially the way they used to do under military rule. That is absent today. So, but I'm not here sitting in judgment against media, practitioners. I'm sitting in judgment against government. So, because you are media too, and it seems that you want to do something different from what you used to, right? But you agree with me that a lot more can be done by the media.
Right standing here, I'm actually more concerned about your health. How are you feeling, sir?
It doesn't matter. I feel good. We're not having a health conversation.
Interesting to understand.
But so I have physical bruises. That's health. Thinking about Nigeria the way it is health too. It's mental health. So health is more than just how you feel physically. It's mental, it's spiritual, it's metaphysical. Health is multidimensional.
Yes, sir. Like I know millions of Nigeria will wish you get justice, and we wish you leave this place and then go home and continue the struggle, because we will not want you to stop talking, because from what you've explained to us, it's obvious you want the best for Nigeria, for everyone. If the Nigerian state is good, the whole everybody is good, and I don't think this is something that is based on the negative stories we've been hearing. It is you're hearing from you that what you're struggling for is for all of us.
The reason for negative stories, as you know, is people want to portray or parlay different kinds of narratives. So you can't change that. The only thing I can do, like I said to you, is to continue to act for historical reasons, and not worry about instantaneous judgments by government influenced narratives, trolls, and all those things in myself. But don't worry about that. Over time, it'll be clear who's right and who's wrong. And I actually think people know. So people might just decide to play all kinds of games with narratives. But it's been real talking to you. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.